What is life's biggest trap?
We are unhappy, we're dissatisfied, when we really shouldn't be.
I cannot seem to find the thing that is worth taking the risk for.
This whole podcasting thing has run me ragged.
You're a loser if you still fall for these traps in 2024. This is your daily Ketchup. Do you queef? Hello everybody, Happy New Year! So we are about to announce the winner for our year-end giveaway, but before that, we just want to give a big thank you to every one of you that commented on our year-end video as well as share with us how you have grown alongside us. I think it's really very heartwarming to hear. And now, Alison.
And the winner for our Nespresso giveaway for our year-end episode is Minhui 1766.
Congratulations!
Please refer to our reply to your comment to see how to claim your prize.
And of course, for everybody who didn't win,
Sorry.
yeah, sorry, but okay, subscribe so you don't miss our future giveaways. And we'll see you back in the episode. So, on the note of self-improvement at the end of the year, I've come across a Reddit thread that is titled, "What is life's biggest trap that people fall into?"
So these are the things that we're going to talk about that hopefully you don't make the same mistake in 2024.
Exactly. Time
Wake up
for
your idea.
a new
Get
life.
better.
Bitch.
Be better.
It just seemed appropriate. I don't know.
It's okay. 2023 just stress. So you need to.
So stressed.
Be best, as Melania would say.
Who?
China.
What? I totally don't get it.
Trump's wife.
Melania, you know,
Oh,
every
I thought it's
first
the
lady,
mosquito
they need-
thing.
That's malaria.
Malaria Trump.
Anyway, I think that's a big trap that people always fall into. So, okay.
English. That's true.
This guy, software engineer, says there is a very dangerous trap which 95% of people fall into, and it starts in your teenage years. So everybody believes that they are a unique human being and they all have their own identity, talents and skills, and that their life will turn out as unique as they are. But the truth is, life does not just happen, but a boring life does. So a lot of bright and uniquely talented young people end up living a boring, mediocre life and complain about how everything made them the way they are, instead of trying to build on those talents and then creating that unique life for themselves.
So what does this have to do
What
with
a
software
read.
engineering?
I don't know.
He just so happens to be a software engineer.
Oh, I thought you was going to tell me about some software thing that I can change. I press one button, turn off this function on my
Increase
iPhone.
your refresh rate.
He building the soft skills.
Oh, okay.
Soft skill.
We are more
engineer.
than our jobs.
Right. Well, I totally
Don't
relate,
say it.
to be honest.
Why?
Like, I don't understand why people, like, some people, they look at us, then they say, oh, your job's so fun, right? To me, it's like, huh? It's just a
your job
normal
not fun?
fucking...
But it could be more
I
fun than death.
love it.
No, and I think the more interesting line that he said as part of this was, you need to work hard to evolve your uniqueness instead of thinking it's going to happen on its own. Which is so interesting because I think we grow up with one talent, perhaps, or something that we feel like we enjoy a lot because we are better at. Like, it's just something we incline to.
The low self-esteem.
So some
people
people grow up with things that they are not good at, and that could be unique for you. So, no, so then how do you then build upon that, right, and evolve it into something that you can capitalize on? I think that is something that's very interesting to look at, especially when you're a lot younger.
Yeah, no, I think that the thing that I related to the most, right, was that the boring life happened. And I know, I mentioned before, like, every time I always feel like I want to get into a new project or like do something fun, I'm always thinking like, okay, I'll plan that later, that's for later. And I realized that I've been saying that, right, since I was 20. I'm now 31. I've been saying that for 10 years, 11 years, and I haven't done it.
I mean, you do have a, side business and all that kind of stuff. Isn't that something you should be proud of?
No, but there's like other things that you just want to like play around with. But, like, at the end of the day, I think the biggest trap that we talked about is getting a job, right? Getting a job and playing
Getting a
The
trap
biggest
is
job is getting a... The biggest job is getting a trap. Yeah.
Your mouth is the biggest trap.
Isn't that the trap? Because you are stuck in the system. Like, if you look at the top 1% and how they got rich, especially the new money, is that they didn't join the rat race. They didn't get a job and just work for someone else's dream.
So are you cracking the code?
Oh no, I am intentionally being in the system because I know that I think my days are gone already. The energy-
what?
Hey,
What's
relax.
happening?
You are younger than us.
When you are 25, right, you had the energy to like, okay, let's take risks, let's work like super hard, work 12 hours to build a dream or whatever, right? Now I'm permanently tired. I have a family.
Then it's the opposite. The 30s to 40s are when you are able to capitalize on what you have experienced in your 20s.
Exactly what Jack Ma says.
Or it's the time when you can't.
Then 40, then you like,
That's why.
I still have another 40 years.
If I put all my savings into like a new like idea or venture or whatever, right? Then now it's not just me. I have my wife. I have my kid.
Like, I think on the point that this thing you brought up, right? Like, I've been meeting masters of different crafts recently.
Wow.
And I find it so fascinating that all of them were able to, like, it's lucky that they were able to discover something that they are not only truly passionate and in love with, right? But are able to do and do well. And to be honest, like most things, I believe if you are able to find that, right, and put your time into it, right, then life happens and you will be able to bear the fruit of all of that, right? As long as you can put your hours into it. But then when I talk to these people, right, it's very, very inspirational, but at the same time I get a little bit sad because I feel like I haven't found that for myself. I haven't found the thing that I'm exceptionally good at and very, very passionate about. And so then I cannot bring myself to, how do I put it? Like,
Commit.
no, it's not about committing, but then you have to go into exploration mode in order to discover those things. But
I think we also fall into the trap of thinking that the only way we get super rich, right, is that we have to build off a special talent that somehow it's innate in us.
no, but it's not about wealth for me. It's not about financial success for me. It's about
Right.
finding something that
Purpose.
I want to become the master. I want to spend 10,000 hours, if not more, and dedicate my life to this thing. Like I know, like, and these masters that I meet, right, they are like, I can do this every day of my life until I die and I'm happy.
When you say this, right, it makes me so confused because when I look at you, it feels like I know very clearly and I feel like you know also what your next step should be. And I feel like you think that you haven't found that one thing that you really want to master, right? Because you are not committing to taking that very clear next step.
Commitment.
What is the next step?
Like to
Finding
me, it looks
something
like
completely
either
out of your realm of
either you really
mastery
just
and
up
then
and move and
being
go
a noob
travel,
again.
right? Or you really just go start your own thing. And then that's where you're going to discover
Starting from zero.
what you are really going to be passionate about for the next 40 years of your life.
But also, do you think, I don't know, but to me, like, I read your personality as someone who can't do one thing forever for the rest of your life because you get excited about something and then after you're passionate about something else. And it's not a bad thing. I think it's very good because you always try new things. So I don't know whether you can't seem to find that thing because that's just not in you to be just focus on one thing forever.
Commitment issues lah.
Therapy.
You're always nice
That's
back.
the
You're always nice back.
solution.
Do you guys think there is a trap that there's a mindset that effort equates into results because they don't always do?
Yeah,
and
they
like you
don't.
were mentioning, like say like the masters who can somehow like I train for something for 10,000 hours and then I master the craft and then somehow I am able to make a niche out of it, I make a name for myself and then I can make a living off of it, I can live off of it. But I guess music can be an example, right? Like there are those superstars as your Taylor Swifts and your Coldplays and all that kind of stuff. But there are people who are great at guitar. They train guitar all the way to mastery and then they end up like just
Jobless.
playing at
guitar
bars. You know, like
teacher.
the ceiling there is playing at bars. They put in probably the same amount of effort or more effort, in fact, than like some people. But then is there an element of luck into it?
I think there is, but I think that people misinterpret what real effort looks like. Because right, I can feel like I'm doing everything possible, but am I really or not? And if I'm not, then that is the issue already. That means they are not truly pursuing and taking the necessary steps to work towards that. So is it fear? Is it a lack of education? But I will never accept lack of education because that's something that you are supposed to be able to work on, right? Yeah. So yeah, to me, it's that you are lying to yourself that you're putting it 100%.
To me also, it feels like a bit of like, you know the horse they run, then they put the thing, the
Blinders.
blinders.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, so I think it might be because if say I'm trying to hone a craft and I believe that if I get super good at say video editing and then I am for sure going to be like able to find jobs, I have a good portfolio. But I think to be able to look for opportunity, right? And I feel like it's a bit of luck, but also luck that you are able to make for yourself to capture an opportunity, right? And then build off of that. So it's like I feel like I need to hone my skills this way. But what I also need to notice is that along the way, I need to be able to be picking out opportunities and going for it.
Totally agree. But there was a recent saying that I came across, right, where lucky people are not luckier. All they have done is set themselves up to have more opportunities and then some of them they credit to luck. But in actual fact, right, all you're doing is that by putting yourself out there as much as possible, things will happen for you.
Yeah.
It's the
true.
people who don't
You
put
make your
themselves
own-
out there, then they feel like they're unlucky and kind of shit. But it's actually just because they are isolating themselves from the possibilities.
I watched a very interesting video, but it's along the same vein, but applies to relationships. So it was talking about, this guy was talking about, people asked him how you know your wife was the one, because their marriage looked very good lah, essentially. So then people always ask how you know that they are the one. Then he say, I don't know. Like I hoped. Like I became the person that would attract the kind of person I wanted, and then I hoped.
Yeah.
So then I think that's so interesting because people think that like the one that's just perfectly meant for you is going to fall into your lap, right? But they miss out on the part that you build yourself into the kind of person that will attract that kind of opportunity, and then you work things out together.
So actually what I'm hearing, right, rounding back even from the conversation of that JP and like Jared were talking about, right, is that expectation is the biggest trap. Because when we have a full-time job, we are always wanting something else. We want pursue passion and have that life. But then when you're the guitar person, right, and you dedicated 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours to become a guitar master and realize it's not going to pay the bills, you wish you took a full-time job. And then now, right, when you have a partner and then you realize it's not up to what you hope for, right, at the end of the day, if we're all just content with where we're at, right, we'll all be happier. It's expectations.
I think it's two separate things. They are parallel, but I think they are separate. Expectation is one, and expectation and contentment is one. But I think it's separate from you finding purpose.
Yeah, but is finding purpose a trap?
I feel like there's so much of why people succumb to, for example, drugs, bad habits, or they are unhappy, there's depression and disorders and all these other things, right? Like a lot of the negativity of life and like it kind of poisons people in some ways because, right, they don't have that purpose. Whereas every time I've met somebody who can see their purpose, right, it becomes so clear for them, and everything else kind of like in order to become great at something, I have to clean up my act in all these other aspects.
Yeah.
So all of that, right, it gives me a purpose, right, for me and direction for me to want to work on, improve and better myself in all these other aspects. So for example, if say I want to be an artist, do I need to be a better human being? Do I need to understand marketing? Do I need to understand business? Socially, how do I need to better myself in those aspects? Do I need to be intelligent in certain things, right? Like all of that, right? I'm motivated to want to learn these things in order to help with that core purpose.
Yeah.
But if I don't have that core purpose, then why do I want to be a better person? Why do I want to be a better partner? Why do I want to, I don't care.
But when you say purpose, right, is it one, how to say, like a specific thing they are trying to do, or what is the pattern of purpose that is the same among these people?
So for some people, purpose could look like taking care of their family. It doesn't have to be like a pursuit of like a career path or a skill.
Right.
Yeah. But a lot of the times it falls into those kind of categories lah.
I say purpose is like waking up every day and being satisfied with where you are. I think if you want,
that is your purpose.
That is a purpose lah. I feel
our
like that
purpose,
is
okay.
a purpose. Like
Okay.
you can wake up and say like, I have no regrets. Because like if people are not fulfilling their purpose, then they'll say like, I wish I was doing something else. You know, I wish I had another life. But if you found your purpose, then you wake up with no regrets. What?
Where I'm trying to like kind of see this is that even 100 years ago, where we didn't have social media, where we didn't have television, that we didn't get to see the hundreds of millions different strangers that we come across online every day and all the different lives that they have, right? The people 100 years ago weren't searching for purpose. And I'm trying to figure out now, right, is that pursuit for purpose, are we motivated because we see someone else being pursuing their purpose, or are we envious that they have a better life than we do?
The comparison
Well,
trap.
I think it's a bit of
Comparison
a
trap.
broad assumption though. And I also think that it depends on where you are in like civilization.
What's the broad assumption?
So that
People
they
back
don't
then
have,
don't have purpose.
but
As
it
in,
could look different.
I don't think they were pursuing purpose to the extent that we are now, because we have maybe 1 million more purposes in a list than we did back then. For
Yeah,
example.
but then that stems from self-actualization, right?
Sure.
So we are at a time where self-actualization is possible, and then that maybe has more variables. But at different stages in civilization, then purpose looks different. For some is, can I put food on the table for my family?
Yeah.
And that alone, right, can be challenging enough or satisfying enough in that sense for it to be your life purpose, ma.
No, I get that, and I get that you are at different parts of the hierarchy of needs, so then obviously different purposes come into play in that point of time. But like if you look at what a pharaoh or an emperor back in the day where he's already reached every single level of the needs, is he doesn't know what he doesn't know. There's not like, he can't be like, I want to be a video content creator because this is like 200 BC, you know what I mean? But now we have more things that we can pursue because of the state of the world today, right? How much of it is when you see someone, you see a master and you go, wow, I am capable of doing that, and you're motivated by that? Or is it, my life is just not as good as that?
I know what I feel like he's talking about choice paralysis.
Oh, I thought it was privilege. I'm sorry.
No, but he's saying even the most privileged person did not have that back then. But now is the fact that there are so many opportunities or avenues to develop into that now we are caught like, oh no, I don't know what my purpose is. But last time is like, the main purpose is to make ends meet, and then how you go about that is up to you.
Yeah, so I feel like, again, going down to traps, right? I don't know if we're being kind of trapped or like a victim of the successes that we have come to as a human race, essentially.
Yeah.
That now we are finding more problems. We are unhappy, we're dissatisfied, when we really shouldn't be. This is the life that many people in our ancestors would have loved to have had.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just creating our own dissatisfaction in that sense.
Isn't it crazy to think that people like 100 years from now, right, might think the exact same, that like we are better off than they are.
5G.
Look at 20Gs.
No, I get what you're trying to say. But tying it back to what we were previously talking about, right? It's like, if it does feel like I'm not taking that risk, or I'm not putting myself out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot seem to find the thing that is worth taking the risk for. So how do I expose myself to or discover that, you see?
No, it's so funny because it's like I'm saying, like the order needs to be reversed.
Yeah.
Because you are unable to find that because you are unable to step into the thing that will enable you to find it. I feel. So, and I think it's different because for a lot of people, the case can be that you are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, right? But still within like very
Still a safe space.
stable, are still a safe space. But for you, maybe it's your career choice, or maybe it's just how you've lived, right? In that a lot of things you can, say if you really want to go travel, you could build that into a series and then go and travel, right? So because so many of that can be baked into your job, right? Just that level of moving out of your comfort zone is not enough. Like, I feel like you need that uprooting.
I need to take off my clothes in the Amazon
And start OnlyFans.
Do you fear that you will go through years and years and decades and realize that you will never find that? Like, is that a fear of yours?
I think
I think I've been living it for a while already.
Believing the fear.
Yeah.
Why is it important for you to find that thing that you can pursue or be passionate about?
Honestly, right, I don't know why I'm here.
Okay.
That's the, like, in life, right? Is I don't know why I'm here.
You need Jesus.
And I think there's quite a big struggle there. Like, and again, right, this comes like when somebody talk to me about how they are like, they are so passionate, or they are working towards something and they've built something for themselves, right? To me, I've seen that and I want that for myself, yet why don't I have it?
So I guess maybe I wasn't succeeding, but I guess where I wanted to get at is that I wanted to find out from you, is it motivation or is it envy? Is that when you see someone else, you want that life rather than a better life for yourself? Because I guess we get to like dissect better, because I think a glass shattering moment for me, right, was when I realized that we are not special, that we are not here for a reason, that we are really just here, and there's millions of us, billions of us, and probably 99% of us are going to amount to nothing. And I think that really took off a weight of pressure off my shoulders.
Oh, it was a positive thing for you.
Yeah.
It was a huge positive thing for me, because for a long time, like, not to blow my own horn or whatever, but my report cards every year when I was growing up was always huge potential, you know, it's going to become a leader, whatever, all this nonsense, right? And that always weighed down on me, because I always felt, what if I don't reach that?
I get it. You're not the main character anymore, so you don't have any expectations to reach.
Oh, you're NPC now.
You are an NPC and you're okay with it.
So when I thought about the moment in time where maybe I became less ambitious, to a lot of people that seems like, wow, that's so sad. But it was so liberating for me because suddenly now, right, when I looked at someone else's life, I didn't feel the envy. I didn't feel like, wow, he has purpose, I need to find my own purpose. I went, you do you. I'm just going to live my life. And maybe it might be boring to some, but like I'm finding myself to be slightly closer to happiness.
Welcome to the other side, brother. I've been here the whole time.
Marriage is what it takes, I think.
But the problem is that on the outside, it looks like laziness. It looks like unmotivated.
No drive, you know.
Then you have been perfect for an episode we recently did.
Oh,
Okay, but you can be here for part 2.
okay.
Stay tuned. Anyway, back to you.
He's still thinking.
Yeah,
gosh.
I'm trying,
He's
I'm trying
really
to,
going
I'm trying
through
to break
a-
it down because I cannot see.
You really have to
It's
remember.
not that I cannot see. I get what you're talking about.
But you're already wearing
But
specs.
I feel like there's something else.
Okay.
No, because I said this
Trying it off. You're trying.
Yeah, so I didn't want to keep going. So I didn't want to keep going in circles, but I'm also trying to like articulate my thoughts. But
I would like to help him find his, the answer to this, Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
no, to help him find his purpose.
Yeah, it's over.
It's just he want to commit. He just wants you to know.
You just-
I thought he was gonna like.
No, because all possible options of a purpose are in this day and age like in the knowledge bank already, right? There can't possibly be a purpose that you don't know about, right?
Can your purpose
Is it
just
a
be
case of
finding-
finding like
That's what they would have said 10 years ago, and then new purposes came out about 10 years later. You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know.
Do you think your purpose can just be finding purpose and all the things that you do along the way of that?
My
Oh, I thought about it already,
Oh.
but I don't think so.
no?
Why?
It sounds like a
Damn it.
cop out.
We thought it was glass shattering.
Yeah, it sounds like a real cop out.
Something that was quite interesting that actually I read two like contradicting comments. So one says that a big trap is that people always tell you never give up. But what this person thinks should be said more is know when to quit. But okay, on the flip side, I saw another comment that said life's biggest trap is impatience. So it says that like how many things that you have wanted, right, you would have achieved if you had just been a bit more patient.
This is the freaking like power of words and how you just frame something, because both of them make so much sense.
Yeah.
No, I think it's because in different situations, both can possibly apply also, ma.
No, but how do I know when what applies?
Yeah, what
you know?
if I'm just have to have a bit more patience when I actually in reality am
Thinking that I need
I'm
to know
actually
when
not
to
good at
quit.
this, but then I keep
Yeah.
telling myself,
Let's just keep trying.
Okay.
You know what? It's about keeping at it.
So when you quit your last one, your last job,
Mm.
did you know? Were you questioning which one it was, or in your heart, right? Was it clear?
Ooh, that's a great question.
In my heart, it was clear.
Then you know it.
Oh, so you're saying it's an innate feeling that
Yeah.
you will know when it's time
I
to
think you will
go.
know when it's time, like whether you should be more patient or whether you should quit.
Why you not happy? What you want?
No, I should have probably quit guitar about 10 years ago.
But you never really give it a shot.
All the traps I'm falling into like since 2012.
Should I throw in the scarcity trap while we're at it?
The problem is that in real life, I think it's very rare that you know 100% that it's time to quit. But what happens is that the doubt starts to creep. And so is that the moment, or is when you are 100% sure? Because the doubt will creep in like most of the time.
But also so many times, right? Don't you think that like at the point where I'm about to quit, then I like your breakthrough is just on the other side of that, you know?
yeah.
I feel like it's kind of the inverse of like what I was saying, like purpose is waking up every day and like not having any regrets, right? But like if you wake up every day with so much weight on your shoulder
So much
and,
regrets.
and so many regrets, and like even like if like yeah, learning skills, developing takes time and takes effort, but you should still at least find some kind of like enjoyment or satisfaction from it. Like this job is not easy. This whole podcasting thing like has run me ragged compared to like the previous job, right? But every time people say like you look so tired and all that kind of stuff, but I say
You
like,
do.
but I like it.
Oh.
You know, I'm like, but I'm fine with it because I like what I'm doing, and then so.
BDSM.
Masochist.
That's another trap. So never mind.
Wait, I want to mine.
So I think you do. Yeah, so I think you do. Like if you are waking up every day and there's really you're really slogging yourself and pushing yourself through, right? Then maybe that's when it's time to quit, lah.
I think something that's worked for me in the past is that whenever that moment of doubt starts to creep in, I give myself a timeline. So it's not an immediate thing, but I say, okay, I'm going to stick it out for 6 months and something needs to happen for me to decide either or.
But so many people, they stick it out for 6 months and they do the same shit for 6 months.
It's the same as the trap when it comes to sales.
What?
Do you
One for
really
one?
need to buy this?
And now,
So then, like, a lot of people say that the trick is to wait lah. Give it
yes.
24 hours, give it a week.
Add to cut
Do you
and then go
still
sleep.
want? Do you? Yeah.
sleep on it essentially.
Yeah. I'm so conflicted a lot of times with whether this is something that I actually want or whether it's just what the world is telling me that I need to want, right? So when we talk about travel, we talk about this kind of things, right? Like, is that what I want or is this just what I'm supposed to want?
No, but deep down in your heart, you don't know. Like,
It's so
the
hard
same
to know
question you asked
because
me,
it's all
right?
these things that we are buying, it's all the things that we are using, it's everything, right?
Consumerism is a trap.
I feel like you
It
know
really
too
is.
much.
I know.
Burden with knowledge.
No, but I was like, why this comment stuck out to me is also I feel like I see it playing out differently in both of your lives. Like the knowing when to quit, right? In the sense that like you knew when to let go of that expectation that you needed to have something special or that you needed to make something of your life, and that liberated you. But then for you, it seems like you cannot quit like looking for that purpose or looking for that something, right? That you feel like you can invest your whole life into. But then at the same time, if I say know when to quit, then what does that look like?
Do you feel like it's because we have other people to live for now? In terms of like,
That's why I say it's marriage.
Yeah, we're responsible for other people. And like, if you were given like someone, like say a partner, right? And then would that kind of not limit, but narrow down the options?
Narrow down what options?
Like where my
Of
purpose
purpose?
is. Yeah, like where it is. Because now it's just this big open like canvas, right? And
No,
then,
I don't think it's an open canvas. I think there are a few things that I'm inclined or leaning towards, right? But again, then I question whether it's truly something that I want or not. And half the time, maybe that doesn't matter also. Like if I kind of feel like, yeah, that's what I want, don't overthink it. Instead, do, and then through the lived experience, see whether you are
Yeah.
meant for it or not, which is what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Whether I'm doing it at a rate that I'm happy with or not is another thing.
Yeah.
But I've also learned to accept that this is just life. Different people, things will happen for them at different stages, different times, and we all have our own timeline, right? So there's all these things I come to accept already.
Right.
But I don't think that a partner will change that. The thing that I think like a partner might influence is, oh, okay, no. I think I know already. When it comes to relationships, right? The frustration here is when I feel like I haven't found it.
you are not good enough for that.
Yeah. Because if this other person has already found it, right, they are on this journey that I cannot relate to.
We're in a chicken and egg situation, folks.
Like when I find somebody, right, and you see, that's the problem also. The people that I meet, right, who haven't found it, I cannot. The people that I meet who have found it, I don't feel good enough.
Oh my
I feel
god.
like we made such a huge breakthrough.
Yeah.
I mean, like you already realized
But
it,
we've
for
broken
us
through
to-
into a room that is like no doors.
Oh, yeah, no, but
but we're in another room, but we're in another room.
but at least we moved rooms. But it's
Okay, off the light. Go back.
oh shit.
That's crazy. Like I
Oh
picture
my
it as like
God.
if your life is just a gigantic room that is broken into many small rooms, but all have no exit. And then your whole life is just like you think you escaping, but you trapped. Yeah, that's why I say you know too much. Like, don't you think that
It's
people,
true.
right, require a bit of delusion? Like, you see a kid out there, right, that thinks that they're gonna be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. Everybody that knows will think like us stupid, like you'll never, you know. But I feel like the people that are the most successful have that small level of delusion that they will make it.
It's faith and belief in yourself, lah. That you will go.
You think it's delusion? I don't think so. I believe that deep down, right, you all know that you are better than the average human being at a certain thing, right? And honestly, the average is low. Okay,
True.
So it's whether or not you are accepting of that of yourself, confidently enough to be, and then how do you then leverage on those things?
Which leads us back to the very first comment.
Wow, full circle. Am I the software? Am I a software engineer?
we're winning.
Whenever we do an episode that we manage to link, we just close.
And the video stops in 3, 2, 1.
Do you all know what you all are better than the average human being at? It could be anything. It could be empathy, you know. It could be
not me.
It could be calculation. It could be that you can see certain things that other people just Not say that they cannot, but maybe it's a little bit harder for them. Yeah.
I cannot put a finger on it, but
For mine, I can.
you're smaller. So, as in, I have this sensing that like, as in, I think I've always thought that I was more street smart than, I mean, as compared to like book smart. But then what that encompasses is also a very large, as it's very generic. But then at the same time, I also feel like as compared to my peers, I do think I have like a sharper mind in the sense of street smartness.
Okay.
Like being, like what you said, like being able to see something different and then be able to then contribute like in my capacity by a very young age. And then people somehow see that as a strength. You know what I mean? Like I think if I were, like I had the same brains and the same contributions that I had, right? But I'm like 10 years into the industry, people would look at me differently as compared to me having it now. Which I think is actually something that John would talk about a lot also. So, but I cannot put my finger on like what is the exact difference that I make. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, but as much as I get what you're saying.
As uncomplacent as this can
No.
sound.
Yeah. Don't be complacent.
But then, where has this been, for example, monetized? Where has this been pushed to the point, right, where it then benefits the larger society? Like, that is what I think, right, helps people to kind of like navigate towards finding purpose.
Why do I need to benefit
Yeah,
larger
here we go.
society?
It's not a need, but I do think that when along the pursuit, one of the outcomes and symptoms of side effects of is that.
Wow, that goes completely like against the face of like we are not special and we like.
No, you don't need
like,
to be
so-
special to contribute though.
Yeah.
Because there
sometimes
are
I
going to
con-
be a million other people that are going to be able to do the same thing as you.
Exactly.
But that
Like,
doesn't mean
so
that you
like
cannot.
what my philosophy of life is really just to make the people around me happy, because there are people who are much more capable, who are going to change the world and all that kind of stuff. That's not my aspiration, and so that's as far as I want it to be in the area of like who I touch.
I think there's a difference with being like happy and content, but also like to be complacent. I think there's two different things. Because at the end of the day, for you to be able to make like say your partner happy, etc., there's also things that they see in you. Maybe they like the fact that you are someone who is good at certain things or good at your job or whatever. And I feel like at the end of the day, like JP said, anyone can do any of those things. Anyone can make your partner happy, essentially, you know. So like you're also only one of like essentially that's why I
Many
think you can be content, but you can never be complacent. I think that's important.
Yeah, and also, if I bring it back to the original question, then what do you think you are better at that you can then leverage on or contribute to?
You got the best imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
though.
you're asking the guy with the lowest self-esteem ever what he's
Double
better at
the-
people
No, but you are
at.
focusing on the negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I were really to not to like think to really like put all the negativity away and
Yeah.
okay, sure.
Okay. And
It's about my ability to bring a community together.
it's true. I've seen it.
It's my I would like to see myself to be the link that brings different communities into a central community and to make it a happy and positive community.
When have you done this before?
Right here?
I've seen it like his first stint at Clarity, he was a culture pillar.
Thank you for that.
What do you mean his first stint?
No, I mean like
Before I left,
before I left.
before I left and came back.
Wait,
lah.
literally, that's okay.
No, then why you never leverage on your capabilities this time around?
No, sorry.
What do you mean? Have I not been?
A bit less.
So, right, the previous time, say when you first joined Garrity and all that, right?
Yeah.
Like, when that happened and you felt it, like, what was the feeling like?
Tingles in the tum-tums.
Pretty much, I guess. Like I was,
Finger up the bum bum.
I was glad we.
Tingles of the tum-tums.
I was like happy with my role of who I was. Like we all kind of have different roles, like in the office, right? But
Yeah.
if that is my part to play, then I was more than happy to play it, lor.
Yeah.
And nothing else. I
And have
didn't want
you
to be anything else.
And then have you felt that way since?
I would like to think, like, and it's beyond this company. It's like, I mean, groups of friends, any other community that I join. Yeah.
You're able to be the life of the party without letting anyone feel alienated.
Yeah.
So what are the jobs? What are the spaces where this, right, is
Can be
people
maximized.
pay
So
you
apparently-
Mediator.
So apparently,
Welcome back then.
I had that thought actually, like,
Yeah.
and my first answer that I kept on going back to, right, was, and this is a very naive answer, HR.
Ah, Mr. Naive.
Like to be to be the heart of the company. And then I went to LinkedIn and straight away typed like, some professional HR guy said HR is not the heart of the
No, I
company.
feel
You
like
know what?
the
I
chief
think-
happiness officer shit is like for you.
I don't think so. I think you should go and be the host of those pub crawl kind of thing.
Oh,
Like, why not have fucking fun, be paid for it,
Right.
drink a little bit, but control. Paid to drink, and then go and make friends with all these people, and then like make sure that the tourists who are coming here, whoever is joining, doesn't feel lonely.
Holy shit!
Like-
Yes.
Like along those lines, you see.
You lost me at control your drinking. No,
I wonder what's the caveman version of this job.
clown jester.
It's like all the men going to hunt. He entertains like the women.
He's zero threat to
Today
any
I'm
of them.
visiting cave tree.
Stones here bigger.
Okay, so thank you very much for watching today's episode. We really went on a really wild ride all around town. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
In the comments, right, ladies, please, or
Why
men,
only
if you
the
have
ladies?
evidence,
Okay.
is there anybody out there or a percentage of this population that likes
Somewhere out there.
dick cheese?
What is that? What is dick cheese?
That was not what I thought you was going to say.
Like, I'm so fucking curious. Like, you talk about this smell and that kind of thing, right? Like, have we just been conditioned by marketing and consumerism and capitalism to want to like enjoy all these like perfumes and all that kind of shit, right? Or the pheromones, the raw smell, the BO to you smells fragrant.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but don't dick cheese come out like when it's dirty or something?
Yeah,
Like,
but then
exactly.
because it's smelly, ma.
Yeah.
Wait, it comes out from your pee hole.
It's all around.
It's like
the,
dried pee and like
yeah.
other excretion thingies
It hides
that
under
dry
the
up
crevices.
of white.
I think nobody will dare to admit that they like dick cheese.
Use an anonymous account lah, whatever lah. You all know how to do this lah. But I really want to know.
I mean, if people like scat,
Like
then
what?
they could... Scat.
Oh, scat porn.
Scooby-Doo,
Scat porn.
bap, bap.
What is that?
One definition.